Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the 90th edition of the Take One podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and we have a packed show. Actually, I don't know if this gonna fit into the time limit that I have for these shows, but I'm gonna try and fit it all in as much as I can. If not, then I'll expand on it in a later episode or on a quick takes or whatever. But we'll cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I think that's how the saying goes. But in any case, let's go ahead and start off with the first segment, which is movie news. So basically, if you're tuning in to this podcast, you basically know we're going to discuss Venom. I haven't seen the movie yet. I am definitely planning on going to go see it tomorrow. But the verdict is out, with a lot of critics and a lot of just people who've seen the movie already, who's given their initial thoughts on Twitter before the embargo lifted yesterday, and now the reviews are flushing out. And I talked about this on on the episode, or the last episode of the Take One podcast, about the embargo and how basically it's very, very close to the release of this film. And that it just kind of seemed like Sony really doesn't have faith in this movie. And so I guess a lot of people can see why, because after looking over a lot of reviews, this movie is generally just being panned. It's a lot of people that do like it, or I guess you could say some people out of the majority of it just kind of basically just see it as a movie that kind of fails on a lot of aspects, from just the CGI to just the storytelling to the tone and everything else. But a lot of the common themes that I've gotten from the reviews was Eddie Brock's, which is Tom Hardy's interpretation of Eddie Brock, and his interactions with the symbiote Venom. And everything else just kind of falls flat around it, from just the love interest with him and Michelle Williams' character to Riz Ahmed, and just his portrayal of his character and everything else. It just, I don't know, it's really looking grim on this movie, and this is the first outing that Sony has done ever since, I could say Alone, and I'm gonna put that Alone, because I really can't count, Spider-Man Homecoming, because that's an association with Marvel, and that's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I still don't know if this movie takes place within the Cinematic Universe, because I hear that it is, it ain't, and blah, 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 and all this stuff, so whatever. If it is, it is. If it ain't, it ain't. But basically, this is his first outing, Sony's first outing with the Spider-Man universe ever since the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that is kind of opposite of, Marvel, that doesn't have any, correlation with Marvel or anything besides it being a character. But it's not really looking good, because as you can basically, Sony basically did a Power Rangers thing, where last year, when before Power Rangers even came out, they were talking about how they had 7 sequels, 13 this and that, 13 sequels or whatever, before the movie came out, and seeing what the movie would at least do in the theaters before going on from that point. If it's successful, go on for it, and everything else. And they have all these other films going, and with this movie trying to basically start off this whole Sony universe of Marvel characters, cinematic universe and everything, it doesn't really seem cool. It doesn't seem like a good way to lead off. It really doesn't. I don't know if there's any other movies that are going to come from this, but as of right now, as of the recording of this podcast, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 28% score. That is bad. And this is just from critics and certain people that have seen it ahead of time, from like just the black carpet, as they called it, because that happened Monday. And it's looking really, really, really grim for this movie. My expectations were really up prior to even just all this craziness as far as the embargo being so close to the release date, to the, you know, reactions of like people on Twitter and then the reviews. My expectations for this movie was really high. If you go back and you listen to the podcast where I was talking about the most recent trailer that had dropped before all these other TV spots and everything for Venom, I was in love with the last part where he was telling him that he was going to eat his arms, his legs, his face and everything, and the turd in the wind, basically the turd in the wind scene. I love that. I completely love it to death. And I was on board, but after seeing, you know, all these reviews and reading all these reviews, it's kind of saddening, you know, that, you know, this is, I don't know, this is where this movie is headed, you know, and I've been, you know, on certain reviews I've seen that it has a kind of like a the tone of it is kind of pre-MCU, you know, when they really didn't have a touch on how to do a comic book movie properly, where they were still trying to, you know, just make a movie, and if it works, it works. If it didn't, it didn't, then whatever. You know, just whatever. It kind of got that type of vibe, and it's just, I don't know, it's very sad. It's very sad. Because I had so much high hopes for this. I wanted this movie to succeed. I wanted to go to the theaters and watch a great movie. Now, given the fact I may go see this movie, end up loving it. It may not be like the greatest movie of all time, okay, but I probably might end up really enjoying it. You know, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go see it tomorrow. And that's basically what it is. Because basically, I don't know when time I'm putting out this podcast. So, you know, today is Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. So I might end up putting it out later on tonight. But in any case, it's kind of weird, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. But they have mentioned that there are 2 end credit scenes. So, I mean, it goes without saying, this is a Marvel film. Even though it's association with Marvel, it's a Marvel film, so more than likely it's going to have an end credit scene or 2. So be looking out for that. But also, the second subject that the second topic that we're going to talk about today is relating to the Venom thing. So basically, Lady Gaga, which I was surprised because, like, I didn't know it until today that she's actually in the movie A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper. I didn't know that was her. I seriously did not know that was Lady Gaga in that role. She looks totally different without all the white, pale makeup on her face and the crazy hairdos and outfits. I can't tell the difference. So she's in this movie. It's coming out this weekend, as well as, you know, along with Venom. Those are the 2 movies that are coming out this weekend. And so online, a lot of trolls have came and basically gave bad reviews to Venom to lower people's expectations to go see it, even though they don't really need to because, you know, the Rotten Tomato score and all the other reviews. But basically, these trolls are adding to the hatred against this movie, which I am totally against. But they're adding to it, and at first, they basically trying to make it seem like it's Lady Gaga fans who are, you know, basically in support of her and want Venom to fail so that her film can succeed, or, you know, the film that she's in can succeed. And they're just putting bad reviews and, you know, rating it, you know, just negatively and everything else. And so Lady Gaga's fans are saying that it's not them. It's DC fans who are trolling and basically putting out them negative reviews on Venom. Wow. Who would have known that Venom would have caused this much controversy? First, you have the whole embargo, and then Sony not really having faith in the movie to let people see it at least a week prior to its release. And then the whole negative reviews. And then now we're here flush with people trying to sink the ship even more by putting mad reviews on this movie because of another movie that's coming out the same day. Who would have known a little movie named Venom would have caused all this chaos? It's crazy. I don't know. There are people like this. I could talk for days and preach. I mean, a lot of film reviewers could probably preach on this same stuff about, even if you don't like a movie, it's okay to not like a movie. Not everybody is going to love every single movie. But, I mean, come on. If you don't like it, just don't go see it. And I don't get this whole thing of DC fans and Marvel fans want, DC movies to do good and Marvel movies to do bad and vice versa. I don't get that. I don't understand why. One affects the other. If one does good, it's going to make people optimistic to go see another, superhero film. And let's say Marvel does good, it's going to make people optimistic to go see the DC film. If that's the next film that's coming out or next superhero film that's coming out that year. I don't know. I just don't get it. If you don't like Marvel, don't go see Marvel films. It's easy. Save your money. If you're a Marvel fan, you don't like DC movies, save your money. You don't have to watch it. We have that luxury. You don't have to go see every single movie. You don't. You don't have to look at the trailer. You don't have to look at the reviews. You don't have to do anything. You can act like the movie doesn't exist. So why spend your time going online and giving it negative reviews? I don't understand. You're not going to stop these movies. Marvel isn't going to be like, oh, well, DC fans don't like us. Well, we're going to stop making movies and then allow DC to make these crappy movies every year. They're not about to do it. So, I don't know. You're wasting your time and energy, but it's like, who's ever doing it? Whether it is, I honestly don't believe there's Lady Gaga fans. Maybe it possibly is. Yeah, I subscribe to it being, DC fans doing it. It is logical, but it's not a big film to where they can all band that they will all band together to try and knock it down. I could see Avengers Infinity War, or Black Panther, or even Ant-Man and the Wasp, because those are bigger movies. Venom, not so, I mean, it kind of is, like, to people like me who know the character and stuff, but to people who don't really know who Venom is, this will be their first introduction to him if they haven't seen the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 movie. This would be their first introduction. They really don't know too much about it. So, I don't know. It's just, it's really stupid. It's just really stupid and a waste of energy. But, I mean, people gonna do stupid things. So, the next subject is that we have a new image of the Hobbs and Shaw movie, which is a spinoff of the Fast and Furious movies, Fast and Furious franchise, and it's starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham in their respective roles as Hobbs and Deckard Shaw. I don't know Hobbs' first name, but the character, it don't matter. It's Hobbs and Shaw. You know what I'm talking about. But the first official image has came out. The Rock put it out on his Instagram. And it just shows a picture. It's black and white, just like the other picture was. It's black and white, and it shows Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just looking at each other, like, just with hatred. Like, we don't want to work together, but we got to work together. So let's, get angry at it, but let's do our job. Kind of like one of those stares. I don't know if there's a stare like that, but probably is. I don't know. But in any case, I mean, it's really not, too much to give. It's not really too much to go on, being that it is the first week of shooting the movie. So it's like, they don't really have too much going as of right now. Maybe later on, as the months go by, we're going to have probably some on-set photos or whatnot. We're probably going to have some... They're probably going to have some more stuff to show us. I ain't going to say we're going to get a trailer by the end of this year, but I'll say toward the beginning of next year, we're more than likely going to have a trailer. I'll be surprised if by December we have a trailer, which it shouldn't be that too far off. This is a movie that's not like a superhero, CGI fest type of movie. It is a movie where they can literally shoot a good amount of scenes, throw some stuff together, put up a little quick teaser trailer, and whatever. So we're more than likely probably going to get a teaser trailer, by the end of this year, now that I think about it. So, but as far as the photo, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't really show too much. The first week, so they really don't have too much to show. So, I mean, take it how it is. The next subject in movie news, we're going to talk about Armie Hammer has joined the cast of the sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile. Now, this movie already has Wonder Woman, aka Gal Gadot, up in there, and she's playing Lynette Ridgway Doyle, and Doyle. Doyle. There we go. A Rich Harris married to Simon Doyle. I don't know if that's any relevance. I haven't read the book, so you have to excuse me. But and it also stars. Well, it also has Kenneth Branagh. I think that's how you pronounce it. Kenneth Branagh directing again. And Armie Hammer, his role isn't like it hasn't been put out. You don't know who the character he's playing or whatever. I don't know. It may end up being Gal Gadot's husband. Maybe not. Don't know. But it kind of follows the same type of thing that the first one did, where it's Kenneth Branagh's character. It didn't say whether he was going to reprise his role, but more than likely he is. But he is on a cruise, and a murder happens, and he has to find out who did it and why. And with the first one being successful, which I know a lot of movie critics really, at least the ones that I've subscribed to, they didn't really, favor it too much. I liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed that movie. I haven't seen the original one. So going into this one, I didn't know what to expect. So how it ended was pretty decent. I'm not going to give it away. I think you guys should go check it out if you haven't checked it out. It's pretty damn good. But basically, worldwide, this movie brought in $352 million on a $55 million budget. And did, and it's pretty damn impressive. But yeah, Armie Hammer doesn't. His character is really unknown at this moment, but more than likely within the next week or a month or whatever, we should know who he is actually playing. But I'm definitely on the train or cruise to go see this movie. And it comes out next year in December 20th, 2019. And I just can't wait. I really can't. But let's go ahead and jump into the next subject, which is Kathleen Kennedy signs a 3-year contract with Lucasfilm that's under the Disney umbrella. And there's a lot to say about this, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Not super short and sweet, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So we all are aware of where, Lucasfilm is as far as, the movies that's been coming out. So under the Disney umbrella, under this new regime, as you would call it, Kathleen Kennedy is kind of like the Kevin Feige, but not, I guess you could say, as far as what she does for the company. So, with being that she overlooks everything, okays everything, whatever, make sure that everything is going on the right track. And kind of right now, the Star Wars movies have been struggling when it comes to just, actually being good. I mean, you do got some movies that were good. Mine, I did like Episode 7, Rogue One, and I think it's only 4 that came out, right? Yeah, Episode 7, Rogue One. Yeah, it was only 4 that came out, so yeah. And I did like Solo. Last Jedi, I wasn't a real big fan of, but that's neither here or there. But the way the fans perceived, The Last Jedi, and the way that they received, Solo, and just the other movies is kind of like a mixed bag. If you look at it, I guess you could say half and half. Solo failed to hit $1 billion, and all the other three movies have hit over $1 billion. But The Last Jedi was just panned by audiences, and even like a lot of critics didn't really like where it went, where it was going, where it went, and everything else. And Solo was just a lost cause, especially with all the behind the scenes, chaos that was happening with the directors and rewrites, reshoots, and everything. So it's been kind of like a chaotic boat. But in Kathleen Kennedy, I can say she's trying to do her best. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt that she's trying to do her best. I mean, anybody in a position that she's in will try to do their best. This is a multi-billion-dollar company that's under a multi-billion-dollar company, and you want to be the person that's responsible for bringing them more billions. You bring them more billions, more millions are going into your bank account. And it just seemed like she's been having missteps, and just it seems like she's going the wrong route. Like, she's trying to keep the nostalgia with the Star Wars things without trying to advance and do something completely different. And it shows with the anthology films being directly related to the storyline, whether it's directly related to the storyline or it's about a character that's a part of the storyline, and really not taking a course to try a totally different storyline that's not connected to the Empire, the Skywalkers, or anything. Just a one-off story, and just call it a day. And it's just, I don't know, like, it seems like she's just trying to keep that nostalgia where it doesn't need to be. It's okay to try something different. It's okay to, not go the norm. And I know people will say, well, that's what The Last Jedi was. That was a totally different story. But in any case, it's like, it just seems like she's trying to do the best that she can, but she's making missteps. And it's just the way that the company is being ran at this point. And I don't know, it's giving like a lot of people to lose faith in her ability to push the Star Wars franchise to a higher, a higher, place. And I don't know, like, I think a lot of people are starting to lose faith. Not too strong like DC, but at least a little bit after another, because the last two choices were kind of, whatever. And I don't know, me and my brother was talking about this, and just about the whole feminine, movement at this point, and, trying to get, like, women in charge and, like, lead roles. And he pointed out that, how many women do you find in roles that Kathleen Kennedy is? And that probably could be a play as to why she is, still on board, and why they gave her a new deal and everything else. And I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, but it shouldn't be all about that. It should be about, can you bring new people to our, movies, or to these movies? Can you put more money in our pockets? And if you're driving people away from putting money in our pockets, why are you still here? It should be like that. I mean, of course, give her a chance to put it right on the right track. And I guess that's what the 3-year deal is. But after that, if she's still doing the same stuff with the same results, why keep her on board if you're not benefiting from it? If you're not getting anything out of it, where someone else, whether male or female, in that role could do something better. Maybe you can find another person that's almost as good as Kevin Feige, or just as good as Kevin Feige, that can put Star Wars on the right track to where everybody and their mom wants to go see a Star Wars film now. Just like how they get excited with Marvel films. But with this whole thing, it's like, okay, cool, keep on board. It's not going to help. It's not going to make me lose sleep. I'm not going to get into an uproar and start ranting online or anything like a lot of people probably are. But it just, I don't know. I think that it kind of is a bad choice. I feel like they should have put someone else in that position that's more well fitted. But maybe they see something in her that we all don't see. maybe this is a probation type of thing that they got her on. Like, we're gonna give you 3 years to straighten the ship. If you can't do everything from that, then we're just gonna say bye to you, and that's it. And honestly, I'm okay with that. You know, if you feel like she's not doing her part and what she's supposed to do and what you hired her for, get rid of her. Male, female, whatever whatever you are. You know, it's like, if you're not helping us, you're only hurting us. And that's my whole thing. So let's go ahead and jump to the last thing on movie news, which is the new poster for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is another Sony, movie from Marvel, or an association with Marvel, and it looks actually pretty damn good. And what's crazy is that this movie is kind of like low key. It really is just really, really low key. It has just kind of creeped under the radar. You know, not a lot of people have it like, oh, I'm definitely going to go see this. Probably a lot of people then forgot about it. But damn, this movie has creeped past us, and like, you hit us with a new trailer like, oh damn, this movie is coming out and we're not that far away from it. Yeah. And it actually looks pretty damn good. But yeah, I mean, the poster, I enjoyed it. It shows a little bit more. It shows that, just like the other trailers show, even before this most recent trailer, which I'm gonna get into, it shows that there are multiple Spider-Mans in this, and that's actually coming before the trailer. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into trailer reviews real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and end off this podcast, the 90th episode. Did I forget to say that? No, I didn't. But the 90th episode. But so let's go ahead and jump into the trailer reviews. And this trailer was freaking awesome. It gives more of the story that there is a machine that opened up universes, and that's why we get introduced in Miles Morales' universe, in his Spider-Man universe. We get introduced to Peter Parker, as well as Gwen Stacy and all these other Spider-Mans, like Detective Spider-Man, Spider-Pig, and it's just, we get introduced to all this stuff, and so it seemed like it's going to be really cool. Now, the question I have is, are all these Spider-Mans going to, drown out Miles Morales as him being Spider-Man? Because at first I thought this was just going to be a solo Spider-Man movie, and then it's like, okay, well, you got Peter Parker in there. Maybe he's just as a mentor. He's not going to, fight too much, but it's just going to be Miles Morales. But now it's like, yeah, now you got like 4 other Spider-Mans too. So how is this gonna, is this gonna take some of the shine off of Miles Morales? But I don't know, like, I have a lot of faith in this until like they give me a reason not to have faith, like, Venom situation. But I love this trailer. It shows a lot. Like, hey, they have to shut down the machine before all the universes like get destroyed or whatever. And basically, you see Kingpin up in there, you see Scorpion, and they may have other villains up in there, but it looks awesome. I love how the animation was. At first, that was a bit sketchy, but now the animation, to me, I kind of like it. I really kind of like it. I'm really looking forward to this movie. It looks like it's going to be really good. Like, it's going to have a lot of humor in there. You got Spider-Pig, of course, and I don't know, it looks really good. I enjoyed this trailer. I really did. It gave more to the story, so now we know a little bit more what to expect. You got Kingpin in there, so I think that should be a good fight. So I don't know. I have a feeling if they want to, go to a second movie, I feel like this is going to have an end credit scene, or lead into other movies. But if this movie is really good and they have an end credit scene where, it shows like another, a villain that may be in a possible next film, I will be happy. And I think with this movie, Sony needs a win. This movie, Venom, kind of like crap the bed. It's not what they, expected to do. And I guess a lot of people, it's not what they expected to see. But if they can get one movie right this year, one Spider-Man, movie right this year, I think that will erase Venom. Not ain't gonna say completely, but it will erase Venom out their minds and have them focused on this. Now, I mean that's sad, but they need this win. They really do need it, and I hope that they get that win because I really enjoy seeing good movies, and I hope that this is a good movie because I may end up seeing it twice, or I might just see it one time. I don't know. I probably might go see it by myself, and then the next day or something, take my son to go see it because this will be a movie that he will probably really want to see. So, most definitely, really enjoyed it. And so, with that said, this ends this episode of the Take One Podcast, episode 90. We're almost there. 100. I don't know what I'm going to do for the 100th episode, but we're almost there and all that good stuff. So, thank you guys for joining me. And until next time, which I don't know if it's going to be later on this week or if it's going to be next week, but whenever. Till next time, I will catch you guys later. Peace. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.